He used to text you every morning. Maybe he would check in on the weekends, after a hike, after work. And now it's crickets. And your brain is trying to figure out what went wrong. And it might be spiraling, going, what did I do? What did I say? How did things change? Did he find somebody better? Keep listening to get the answers to the questions and to learn how to reclaim your power. But before you do that, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with other people who might need it. I'm Callie, and this is the Self-Worth channel where we talk everything breakups, challenging relationships, low self-worth, so that you can reclaim your power from within and attract abundance, learn how to stand in your power, and get what you deserve. I post a new video every week. So when you subscribe, you get notified when I launch the new video, so you can get access right away to be able to watch these healing videos and get the momentum to be able to train the brain to become liberated. Make sure you subscribe and support yourself and other women who are looking for content just like this. Okay, so here's what we kind of need to understand is when we're in the beginning stages of a relationship, it's kind of like neutral territory. This is where two people are just really starting to get to know each other. They kind of maybe were attracted to physical at first, but that's like the initial pull. And then you really start to get to know each other on a deeper level. So at first, things might seem light. They might seem fun. They might seem like they have a lot of engagement because you don't know each other's wounds yet. You don't know each other's attachment style yet, your patterns. You're still getting to know them. So this is where things get really challenging for us, is because we start to go back, like say we've been dating somebody for a few weeks and all of a sudden somebody's patterns start to change. Like they were calling you often, they asked you out on lots of dates, they texted you a lot, and then all of a sudden that starts to diminish. What we start doing is we start replaying those times what they were like in the beginning, what they were like at first. And I know a lot of people like to say, oh, well, people are like that, but they can't stay that way for that long. They change. Well, I'd like to offer a different opinion that challenges that specific narrative and turns it to just the nature of us and what we can do to control that circumstance. So we don't feel like we're just like walking into a landmine, that we kind of understand what's happening here. So at first it all feels open, available, exciting, but then emotional intimacy starts to build. This is where the connection starts to build and we start to see each other's wounds, nervous systems, attachment styles. All this stuff starts to sort of like you get hints of it and it starts to get exposed because you can't really hide it for a really long time. And when those pieces start to come to the forefront, what happens is if you have an anxious attachment, then you can start to pull closer if the person's avoidant. If the avoidant attachment starts to feel like any kind of pull, they start to kind of push away. And so this is just a matching game. This is to see, okay, well, how do we fit? And this is what happens over time. It's not necessarily somebody's faking it. It's just that we're getting to know each other's style. And this is where things get tricky because it means that there's different parts of you, those subconscious fears, those subconscious things underneath, those patterns, those wounds, we can't hide them anymore. So if we're really attracted to somebody who has an avoidant attachment style, the minute we start to feel anxiously attached, if they're not secure, what's going to happen is they're going to push away because they're going to be repelled by that anxiousness, right? And it's going to feel like a game. But if it's all working in the subconscious, it's actually just like energy, and the energy doesn't match. You pull in, they're going to push it away. It's like a magnet that just doesn't it's the opposite of the magnet that comes together. The atoms are different. And then the same goes for him. He might have sensed anxious energy. He might have sensed a pull, not in a way that you did something wrong, because you might have not done anything wrong. And honestly, if he was secure, it could have been a conversation, right? It could have been a healing environment. But if that attachment style is more repelled by that naturally because of their own experiences, because they had to survive that way growing up, right? Not because of you. Things are going to start changing through tone, texting, expectations, things that feel subtle to you. They're going to start to become very apparent for them. And it's going to put pressure on somebody with avoidant attachment style. And they might make them more unsure, unclear. It might make them push away because they have a little bit of fear, because they're challenged with working with these emotions, with addressing them. So what do we usually do when this happens? Well, we chase more. We start to internalize. We start to ask those really anxious-driven questions. And we hope they shift back into the version that we initially felt in the beginning, right? But that version was created in neutrality. It was created in neutral ground. Whereas now the attachment styles are activated. They're more surfaced. And so it's no longer neutral. It's now subconscious versus subconscious. It's two different attachment styles that are working subconsciously, and then we're consciously wondering what's going on. If you can relate to this, say I in the comments below. So the way out is not to convince them to come closer, by chasing, by texting, by saying I want validation, by saying do you still like me, by doing all these things. It's not to do that. That is not the answer. The answer is to regulate your own nervous system first, okay? It is to heal your anxious attachment from within and to understand that you can become secure. This is a message that your anxious attachment needs to be healed. So this is where you start to move from neediness into self-resourced energy. And it can also help you understand that in a relationship, two people do need to work together in order to heal each other's attachment style with the proper communication and foundation. But before that, we must learn to self-resource. And that's when the right person will come to us, when we know that we are worthy of love, when we know that we are deserving of love. If we still have anxious attachment, that's okay, but we have to be able to display that we actually care about ourselves so we can communicate these things and so that we can understand what we deserve versus what we're clinging onto unnecessarily. Do you see that subtle difference? Because when your energy has a little bit of anxiety, but it says, I trust myself, then everything you do starts to change. The entire dynamic starts to change because you're seen as high self-worth. Sometimes people rise to meet you there if they have avoidant attachment styles, and sometimes they don't. But you're never going to lose in that situation. You take back your power in that situation. And I'm going to guide you through a couple of simple exercises now that will help you find where you can take back that power and you can become more clear on your own self-worth. And you don't have to live in that state of anxiety of what did I do? What's wrong with me? Okay, so here's the part that most people skip. If somebody pulling away makes you feel like your entire world is crashing down, it actually is not about them. That is something inside of you that's been activated. That is something that was already hurting inside. And them having their avoidant reaction is causing you to be even more in pain because of a past pattern, because this is the way that you reacted throughout your lifetime in order to survive. So let's go there together. I want to take a full minute right now just for you to breathe and to ask yourself the hard questions. These questions are the ones that free you, so really pay attention here. So close your eyes if you can. Breathe in through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and ask yourself this. What does this pain remind me of? When else in my life was I feeling this way? Was I feeling unseen, unimportant, invisible? Is this him? Or is it my dad never saying I love you? Is it a parent saying I'm leaving? Is it me begging, saying please don't leave me when I was a child? Is it me being left alone for hours and hours to just tend to my own wounds when I was little? Stay here for a moment and just breathe with it. Let the brain investigate to how this person feels familiar to a past pattern, a situation where you felt like you had to be anxiously attached in order to feel validated and whole. We're finding that lineage into what you are equating your self-worth with right now. Because this is the awareness that you gain in the moment. And this is the first step in real freedom because you're realizing it's not him. You're realizing it's a past pattern that you can heal. This is just a familiar circumstance that's activating a part of you. So is he special? No. But is the situation something that is familiar? Yeah. So now we ask the question, what if we learn how to shift this energy first from within and self-resource ourselves And then let that be the invitation for him to come back if he's worthy of it. Because when we change, the people in our lives feel it energetically. Your energy literally changes and it stops asking to be rescued because you are rescuing yourself first. And when you can communicate from that place of, I've dealt with this, this is within me, and yet this is also something I'm experiencing, it's very different than the neediness, the clinginess, the holding on-ness. You're the one that says, I'm not chasing you, I'm just letting you know. I don't need you to fix me, I just need you to understand. I'm healing. And if you take one thing away from this video, it is that you are not ever too much. You're not too needy. You're not broken. You just didn't learn these skills. And he didn't pull away because you're unworthy. This is your sign to learn how to feel safe inside. This is your sign to attract abundance, because creating that safety from within, that is what changes everything. Everything. So if you're feeling that anxious pull after he pulled back, you don't have to wait around and pretend like nothing happened or play it cool, because we can all feel the energy anyways. This is your invitation to take a deeper step into yourself, to become self-resourced and develop that relationship from within so that you can transform your energy, reclaim your power, and learn how to resource your self-worth so that you attract incredibly healthy, loving relationships. If you need help getting started, book a call with me. I would love to help. So by booking a call with me, you access 45 free minutes with me, one-on-one consultation in order to be able to figure out what the main pain points are, look at what it is that we need to focus on, and get you into the self-worth system to do these practices, these neural reprogramming techniques in a 5-phase system where many other women in the community are practicing this in real time. So book a call, let's get started, and let's heal those wounds from within. And if this resonated with you, if you had an aha moment, if you just feel better after this, please subscribe, because I post a new video every single week on breakups, going through hard times in relationships, anxious attachment, building self-worth. And this content really goes into our brain. It helps us to reprogram. It helps us to heal. So make sure you subscribe below. And if you want to keep this going, keep watching more videos. I have a library of videos in my channel, all geared to raise your energy, change your frequency, and help you heal for good.